Okay guys, I just want to start this off by saying the time might not look so great, but man, it's Mother Mind. She spends half her time in an invulnerable state. You gotta believe me. But yeah, no, my bad skill issue. Please do enjoy though. I gotta say, this is one of my favorite bolt builds so far that I've put together. Probably because I'm not just using like stock damage amulet. I'm using like something really unique and it makes it feel very fun. And I do quite enjoy the shotguns in this game. So Ford's Scattergun and Rupture Cannon are a good bit of fun. And with Targeting Jewel and the Hunter archetype, you get a decent amount of range on your shotguns, all things considered. But yeah, this is honestly also just a really strong build in general. And you can use it on pretty much all content in the game. Maybe swap around the guns a little bit, depending on what shotguns you enjoy. But man, this is probably right now my favorite build on the game. And if you enjoy this type of video and find yourself coming back to watch more, please do like and subscribe. And without further ado, I'll get into the more nitty-gritty explanation on the build. So let's start with the weapons, mods, and mutators. Our melee weapon isn't very important here, but our secondary kind of is. I basically ran Song of Aether here just for the crowd control, as it helps with the ads. And you can just shoot it off once. And I just kind of use it as like a panic button if the flying ads ever teleport like into me. And then I put on Twisting Wounds just to be able to proc bleeding. It's just a little bit of extra damage when I shoot something with the Rupture Cannon. And then the star of the build, the Ford's Scattergun. This thing hits so hard and it has like a slow fire rate. But with all of the things we use to like increase its fire rate, combined with the fact that our amulet like regens ammo for us and bandit regenning ammo, we don't have to reload super often, and this thing absolutely shreds. So we run corrosive rounds just because corroding the boss gives us extra damage. It also increases our crit chance when shooting, which is incredible. And we run bandit because this is actually, believe it or not, better than say momentum or whatever else mutator you would put on, because bandit giving us this 30% chance to return spent ammo is just another way to get more ammo back. And our upkeep on our DPS is so high for this reason. It actually works even better on bosses that are not like Mother Mind, which have invulnerability phases, but I'm just having too much fun with it and really wanted to show it off. For our archetypes and skills, we're running a classic Hunter Gunslinger. It's just incredibly good for damage. Hunter in the prime slot with Hunter's Focus. Hunter's Focus is just 90% of the time the best Hunter skill that you can get for damage. Dead to Rights will allow us to keep Hunter's Focus for the whole fight, even with the downtime. And then Gunslinger, we're running Bullet Storm because it has just a really nice increase to fire rate. Gunslinger also has a 10% increase to fire rate as part of its perk, as well as if you ever need to reload really quickly, you can just pop a relic because it has the Sleight of Hand perk, and it'll also increase your damage for a short period of time. Now for our amulet and rings, let's go over the Gunfire Security Lanyard. This is a really nice amulet to have for any shotgun build or any like slow firing build that's not a single shot weapon, because it doesn't work for them. And basically it just gives you a bullet back of the gun that you have out about every second, probably a little bit longer than every second. For our rings, we have Targeting Jewel. This increases range on the firearms by 4 meters. This is super duper good if you know you're going to be fighting a boss that's a little bit further away. And it just lets you make sure you're hitting with your max damage on the short range shotguns that I'm using. Zanya's Malice for weak spot damage, because we're basically only hitting Mother Mind's weak spot, at least ideally. Same thing with Ring of Flawed Beauty, ranged weak spot damage increased by 25%, should always be hitting the weak spot. And then Akari's Warband. Mother Mind offers a good variety of times to do perfect dodges for crit chance and the crit damage increase. It is just such an incredible bonus when you have it up and running that I couldn't find anything else worth slotting in instead of it. For our relic and fragments, I ran Enlarged Heart. This is because it's the fastest relic to use with its innate double use speed, and it's really helpful if you ever need to like reload your gun in a pinch. You can just hit your relic button, and then because you have Gunslinger slotted, your gun's back to full capacity. Now for the relic fragments, we have crit chance because it's basically the best one for damage that exists. Fire rate, one of the best ones for damage that exists as well, and then crit damage because once again, these are the 3 highest increases to damage for ranged weapon builds, provided you're going for crit damage. Sometimes you would swap out fire rate for weak spot damage, but in this case, in my testing, I found fire rate was better than weak spot. For our traits, ammo reserves comes with Gunslinger, Longshot comes with Hunter, and then we put points into Potency just because I'm going to be buffing a lot during the Mother Mind fight because it is so long with her invulnerability phases, and the increased consumable duration just lets me not have to buff as often as I otherwise would because our buffs will run out. Regrowth just in case I do get hit, Swiftness for movement speed, just really nice to have. Untouchable for the invulnerability window, just to help need a little bit less precision on dodges. Handling to lower the recoil and lower the weapon spread, so I'm more likely to be putting all of my pellets into the weak spot. Siphoner for a bit of lifesteal, once again, if I do lose health. And then Glutton for the consumable use speed, because I'm going to be buffing a bunch of times in the fight, so I want to be getting those off as fast as I can. For our concoction, I just ran Tranquility Font for gun recoil and spread, as well as reticle sway. Mostly spread and gun recoil are what we really benefit from here. I throw a whole bunch of Brightstone grenades, one for each phase, just to make sure that we have the extra 10% damage buff on the boss. And then I'm constantly popping rocket fuel whenever it's about to run out between phases, just to make sure I have this extra 10% fire rate. And then similar reasoning for Bloodroot, just in case I'm ever losing health. This is just a little bit of extra regen, and it's nice to have, and I don't have anything better to do with some of the time during the fight anyways. Now, like normal, I'm just going to do a bit of a fight breakdown to just kind of explain the process of the fight and why I do what I did. So at the beginning, we're going to do a buffing sequence where we just go through all of the different things that we want to activate before the fight. So in order, this goes Bloodroot, this goes Rocket Fuel, then we go with our Hunter's Focus, followed by our Weapon Mod, Corrosive Rounds, and then Bullet Storm really quickly, and then finally our Relic, which all just increase our damage, increase our fire rate, increase weak spot damage, increase health regen, etc., etc. We just get so many buffs really quickly for this. Then when we walk through, we want to instantly throw the weak spot grenade for more damage, aim to activate Hunter's Focus, and then we just go to town for the first round, I guess. We have to dodge because he did an unfortunate attack, which wastes a bit of time, and then ignore the panic spacebar dodge that I had there, but it's not really that big of a deal. And then we just basically have to wait. So as we're waiting, you can see that I rebuffed already. When he comes down, I use my Relic to get a 10% damage bonus, and then throw another weak spot to grenade to refresh the effect. This one, as you can see, didn't actually affect him. I missed, but oh well, not a big deal. And then you can see I shot that one ad there just because he was getting close to me. And then I shot the other ad too after I already did the damage to him. Run up, rebuff again, use a Relic when he's come down, use our mod because we have it again. This time the weak spot grenade hits. We take out the ad because that ad could kill us because he was just so close, and then ideally we do enough damage to phase Mother Mind before taking out the other ad. That should happen every time in the perfect world, but it doesn't always. And then over here we once again rebuff, and then we notice that a rock's going to fall on our head, so we move, Relic, and then we notice that we have Gunslinger's skill up again, activate that, and then just go to town and pray to God that the ads are not going to kill us before we kill Mother Mind. And we just barely beat her before that thing was going to explode in our face. So overall, Nice fight. Not a great boss to showcase this build on, but if you were looking at the DPS that I had put out and like some of the background footage, you could see that I could like easily hit 6k in the first mag, maybe 5k, depending on how many crits I get and whatnot. But it's pretty ridiculously strong build, and it's a lot of fun to play as. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.